Vic Moises here now. I'm going to talk about. This is about some parents that like are too soft for their children, mainly misbehaving, mainly for like misbehaving ones, like with discipline versus abuse. So this is about differentiating, if that's even a word, discipline from abuse. Uh, so everyone knows that nowadays children are most children are going they're mostly on the iPad. They're like watching disgusting shit. Yeah, and lots of parents uh just use their words and not their hands. Look, I get it that you want to take a more pacifistic approach to teaching a misbehaving child a lesson, but sometimes it won't work. And so if the child did something on accident or something too petty, you don't do it. Don't do that. That would be abuse if you whooped your child. But if it was something as disrespectful as making fun of a sick peer, or spitting in a parent's face, that's when you whoop them, because you're not supposed to you're not meant to do that. Recording this on my phone. Damn. Recording this on my phone. And looking at the reflection, I just look weird. There we go. So yeah, that's the difference. If they didn't mean to, you don't hit them, but if they meant something that's very disrespectful, that's when you get them. And it can, some of it could be kind of old school a bit, because lots of parents, they grew up in eras where hitting your kids wasn't seen as abuse. But some of the whooping that has to be in this generation, not for 2013 kids like me, but I mean for people who are born in I think in the future, 2030s or the 2020s. That's when that's when that discipline from that time has to go to the next generations. Yeah. Discipline isn't abuse. Discipline, it was never abuse. And plus modern discipline, telling them to go in a corner, or just yelling at them, or saying that they're grounded. That yelling and washing their mouth out with soap, that is more, that is okay on both sides, because no one likes tasting soap. No one likes it. Yeah, no one likes that shit. Yeah, but stuff look, taking the electronics, that's a start, so they don't have a source of fucking entertainment and all that. But if you only do that, and then just say room. That's not going to like work a lot. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of pretty much all I wanted to say. Not really. Yeah. So, I'm gonna say it again. Discipline and abuse are two different entities. Like, hitting a bad child, that's not like hitting bad children, that's not really abuse. Because, they're like doing something that's like very bad. They're doing something very bad. But like if it's something like that's not really bad, like stealing a piece of candy, that's still bad. But I mean, like if it's just like a little candy bar that costs like a few cents, that wouldn't be like that bad. Or if it was like, or if it was like something like, I don't know, like dropping, like a plastic bottle onto the earth. That's not like very, very bad, but it's still like bad, like at a level. So like, when it's something like, cussing out the teacher, or, making fun of like another kid with a disease, or mocking a deceased relative of said kid, that's when you beat your kid. Cause like, like look. If it's something like, mocking someone's heritage, or how their family is, or their disease, or their losses, if that was my kid, I ought to beat that ass, bro. I ought to hit the kid. Because you do not do that. You do not do that, alright? And plus, the world isn't like made of, the world isn't mostly about, peace. Because, all the damn politics that's happening. So, yeah. And you really just want to, prepare your kids, like, for adulthood. Because, sometimes, like, if they went too far, like, with mocking illnesses or losses or heritage or family, that could be like something like lethal. Alright, the one that's being bullied could have like mental problems, and then they could like be like a danger to themselves and others. That is dangerous. So if you don't want to, for stuff that can, just get you to like talk, like, fuck. Usually I know what I want to say before I record it, but when I'm recording it all just flies out of my brain. Whatever. See you guys, love you guys. I'm a reptile.